Greetings and welcome back to CS133 Practical Programming with Python. This is week 2. We're doing the practice for logic and comparing values. So again, remember, however you want to do this, pause it, do them all, or pause it before each of them. I'm just going to start getting into it, so pause when you need to. Alright, so we're going to create a variable, test, and set it to true, and then we're going to print yes if it's true. So let's do that. Let me make this slightly larger for you. And go ahead and get rid of that. Create a variable called test equals, remember, capital T, true, enter, if test, colon, enter, it should automatically indent for you, print, yes, this is true. So since we sent this, set it to true, this would be true, so should get that result. That's what you should get. That's how you set this up. So very basic. We're using the Boolean, and this is what it's being evaluated, except for it's already true, so it's not a whole lot of evaluation, but if it's true, it prints this. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything. So now, we're getting a little more complicated. We're going to set a variable to the number 10. We're going to ask the user for their favorite number. I'll call that variable favnum. And then we're going to print your number is greater than 10 if their number is greater than 10. So let's go ahead and do this. MyNum, whatever you called it, as long as it makes sense and works, MyNum equals 10. Favnum equals, so this is a user's favorite num, input, enter your fav number. Now, remember that this is always a string, so we need to do int around it all. And you could also do other few things to change it, or do int later on in the case. I'm going to change it int now, so when we do this next piece, if fav num is greater than my num, so therefore if their number is greater than 10, right, because my num is 10, don't forget your colon enter, then it's going to print the statement. Print your number is greater than 10. And again, that's possible because this is converted to an int at this point. I'll show you in a little bit how we can do this, but let's try 5. Enter nothing because 5 is not greater than 10. 11. Oops. Of course. Control Z, stop, run. Okay, click over here. 11. Enter. 11 is greater than 10. Our math is working. And again, you don't have to do the input there, or the int conversion there. I could also do it here as well. Whatever makes sense to what you're doing, same concept. Just remember that the input comes in as a string. Alright, last one before you go to your challenges and worksheet questions in Canvas. Set a variable with the name of color to the user input, favorite color. So there's implied task here, right? And then if the user says purple, print you are a true dog. So you've got to create variable. We'll call this fav color equals input, enter your favorite. So this is one of the implied tasks, right? You need to tell them to actually enter their favorite color. You need also create the variable, set it. So that's all of that. Set a variable, the name of color to the user input. These are the implied tasks to get that all done. If the user says purple, so if fav color equals, remember 1 to set, 2 to compare, quotes, purple, colon, enter, it automatically indents, print, you are a true dog. So let's run this real quick. Enter your favorite color, green, and click over here. Let me make this larger real quick. Favorite color is green. Doesn't do anything. Again, we're going to get to a point so it will do something if it's not true, but for now, Again, we're just focusing on, of course, because it helps a lot if you spell purple, right? So run, let's type in purple this time. You are a true dog. Code is working. Let's point out something else real quick. Purple, I love it. Click over here, purple, capital P, and enter is not the same. Purple does not equal purple. This statement is false. And that's kind of how our basics work, right? The Boolean concept. This is Boolean and it's false. This is Boolean, and it depends on what they enter into that one. This is also Boolean. And the if statement is if whatever you are comparing, evaluating, colon, indentation, if it's true, this executes. All right, next couple lessons, we'll figure out what happens if it's not true and add a little bit more complexity into how you can do these greater than less statements and compare more than one thing, essentially. With that, we'll see you next lesson.